Hello everybody, this is another Spanish video. If you're wondering who I am, my name is Calhoun Tinas, and if you're looking for Mr. Barbosa, he had a bizarre gardening accident. Senor Barbosa told me that you guys are learning some Spanish, and that's pretty dang cool. I wrote a song about it, here we go. Well, you're learning that Español, and hablo Español. One time I was playing this blues club in Chicago, and I met this beautiful señorita. She had a real low voice, she had a real bass voice, and she wanted to get with me, and I told her, nah, you'll only lead to trouble. You know, I wrote a song about it. Go like this. Bueno, me gusta hablar con las señoritas. También me gusta jugar al fútbol americano y jugar videojuegos y ir al parque. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, once upon a time I used to have this beautiful señorita as my girlfriend, but she always complained. She always tell me, either it's your guitar or it's me. And I told her, you know what? I'm gonna choose my guitar. It's got a volume knob. I wrote a song about it. It go like this. Well, my señorita no me gusta. A ella no le gusta. Ni a ti tampoco. ¿Cómo estás? Me gusta jugar al videojuegos. Thank you very much, thank you. Folks, Senor Barbosa told me to tell you that you need to leave a comment for homework points. I wrote a song about it. Go like this. Well, you gotta make sure you sign in comment, or else you'll get a 0 for your homework. Thank you very much, thank you. Hey, give me back my guitar. Hey, give me. Hey, what are you doing?
Alright, señoritas y señores, so this is Spanish 3 Honors here. You guys had the same intro as Spanish 1 did. My shenanigans, me just goofing off and being a big ham. So, you know, I just try to, cast that line, that fishing line, and try to reel you guys in into learning more Español. So I hope I'm doing that. Well, anyway, let's talk about business, shall we? We are on Chapter 3, the second half of Chapter 3, and now it is a section in the book where you are going to learn something called el subjuntivo. In English, you would say the subjunctive mood. Now, it's not really a tense, it's actually a mood, okay? And this is what it looks like on the textbook page. This page, you can see this information can be found on página 132, page 132. And you've actually, without realizing it, you've actually seen a little bit of the subjunctive mood already, because it's the same conjugation as usted. If you're telling usted what to do, like for example, you want grandma to speak, so you would say hable, right? Well, guess what? That doubles up as a subjunctive mood conjugation. So, so you've seen these type of conjugations before. But now, when do you use them? Well, let me go ahead and just backtrack and let me just show you that the book actually does a very good job of explaining when to use the subjunctive mood. Take a look. It says to say that one person wants, suggests, or demands that someone else do something, use the subjunctive mood. A sentence that includes the subjunctive form has two parts, the main clause and the subordinate clause, connected by the word que. All right, so a lot of times when you have two verbs, you have the main clause and the subordinate clause, and it's connected by the word que. So the first one is going to be indicative or fact. The second verb is going to be wishful thinking or a want, a suggest, or demand for you to or anybody else to perform that action. Are you guys still with me? I know it's complicated, but we'll practice in class. Well, take a look at these examples. All right. For example, if I'm your trainer, I'm going to say quiero que respires lentamente. I want you to breathe slowly. Take a look. I want you to breathe. Notice right here, it does not say respiras, which is, the fact. Respiras would be that you're breathing. It's a fact. I see you breathe. You're breathing. Tú respiras. but I want you to breathe. So that's why it's instead of respiras, now it's respires. See, you put the opposite ending there because that's an action I want you to perform. Here's another one. Sugiero que bebas agua antes de correr. Again, sugiero, all right, I suggest that you drink. Look, it says bebas. It does not say bebes. Normally you would say bebes if you're drinking. You drink water, you're drinking bebes, okay? But if I want you, or actually in this case, if I suggest that you drink water, sugiero, that's my verb. Que bebas, that's your verb. I want you to drink. I don't know if you're gonna drink. I hope you drink water, but that's my suggestion to you, okay? I suggest that you drink water. Sugiero que bebas agua antes de correr. And then finally, here's another example. El entrenador exige que los atletas estiren los músculos. The trainer demands that the athletes stretch those muscles. All right. El entrenador, male trainer, exige, he is demanding. That is a fact, okay? It's exige because that's the present tense el conjugation. Que, and then after the word que, that's when the second verb is the subjunctive mood. Los atletas estiren. Notice normally it would be estiran with an A if they are in fact stretching. All right, but if he wants you, or actually in this case, if he demands that those athletes stretch, then instead of estiran, it's going to be estiren. Again, the ending's different instead of estiran. So we'll read on in the book. It says you can also suggest more general or impersonal ideas using expressions such as es necesario, que, es bueno, que, es importante, que. See, all of these actions, we're saying that it's necessary, it's good, it's important, we want you to, we suggest you, we demand. See, these actions haven't happened yet. And in Spanish, this is our way of saying, well, it's good that this happens. Whether or not it's gonna happen, we don't know. All right. All of these followed by que and a form of the present subjunctive. So again, more examples. Es necesario que hagas ejercicio. It's necessary that you do exercise. Remember, present tense normal way or indicative is tú haces, right? Are you going to do exercise? Well, it's important that, or actually in this case, it's necessary that you exercise. So es necesario que hagas ejercicio. Es importante que los jóvenes coman bien. It's important that the young people eat well. Are they going to eat well? That is to be seen, all right? So instead of comen, coman, because that's going to tell whoever you're speaking Spanish to the subjunctive mood. All right, ladies and gentlemen, to form the subjunctive, drop the O ending of the yo form of the present tense and add the present subjunctive endings to the stem of the verb. Let's take AR ending verbs. In this case, saltar, and then you can replace saltar with caminar, trabajar, practicar, any AR regular verb. So, yo salte, tú saltes, usted, él, ella salte, nosotros saltemos, ustedes, ellos, ellas salten. Crazy, huh? So instead of putting an A, an AS, an A, an AMOS, an AN here, you're going to put an E, ES, E, EMOS, and EN, okay? Normally you would put these endings for ER ending verbs and IR ending verbs in the present indicative tense. All right? So take a look at an ER ending verb. They're going to use conocer in the book, which is kind of, interesting because conocer is a tough subjunctive mood verb, okay? Yo conozco in the present tense indicative, tú conoces, usted, él, ella conoce, and then conocemos, conocen would be the normal way. Take a look at what it changes into. Conozca, yo conozca, tú conozcas, usted, él, ella conozca, nosotros conozcamos, ustedes, ellos, ellas conozcan. Interesting example that they gave. Normally when it ends in CER, when your infinitive ends in CER, that's going to be a doozy, okay? And so we'll practice those again in La Clase de Español. Take a look at the verb decir. That one's a tough one because, well, in the present indicative tense, it's digo, dices, dice, decimos, dicen. And here, in the subjunctive mood, it's yo diga, tú digas, usted, él, ella diga, nosotros digamos, ustedes, ellos, ellas digan. All right? Well, a lot of verbs to conjugate in the subjunctive mood, and they're not all very easy. Check it out. The ones that end in C-A-R, G-A-R, Z-A-R infinitives, they all have a spelling change. You're gonna have to make those adjustments. There's no other way. All right. So remember, when we were talking to usted last chapter, busque, we would tell that person, but we would have to change to the C to the QU. Remember those? And you kind of run with that for buscar in the subjunctive mood. Check it out. Busque, busques, busque for usted, él, ella, busquemos, and then busquen. All right? Pagar, to pay. Pague, pagues, pague, paguemos, and paguen. All right? And then over here, cruzar, cruce, cruces, cruce, crucemos, and crucen. All right? I feel like a baseball player when I'm doing that, but I hope you guys realize what I'm doing when I do this. Yo, tú, usted, él, ella, nosotros, ustedes, ellos, ellas. And that's my, I played a lot of baseball when I was a kid, so I'm like, showing you guys signs. All right, so let's take a look at some more examples, señoritas y señores, of the subjunctive mood. Once again, it expresses wants, suggestions, wishes, speculations, requests, demands for something, for someone to do something, okay? And I've already explained to you that if you see me eating, then, well, I'm eating, right? Yo como, I eat. You see me with a bunch of food, yeah, got my, face stuffed with like pizza or whatever like that. You can't dispute that. It's indicative, it's fact. But if I say something like, well, it's important that I eat, then it's es necesario que yo coma. Instead of yo como, it's yo coma, because am I gonna eat? Well, it's necessary that I eat. I don't know if I'm gonna eat. It's uncertain, all right? Okay, so once again, let's recap the subjunctive mood, ladies and gentlemen. For regular AR, ER, IR verbs, change the verb to the yo form, present tense. That's the first step. Second step is to drop the O ending and then add the subjunctive mood ending as you see here. All right, so let's scale it back a bit because some of those verbs that they conjugate in the book get a little crazy. Let's bring it back to the basics. We'll lay down the groundwork and then we'll build our way up. Take a look at an AR ending verb like hablar. Take a look. Normally it's habla, hablas, or hablo, hablas, habla, hablamos, hablan. But now it's yo hable, tú hables, usted, él, ella hable, nosotros hablemos, ustedes, ellos, ellas hablen. Verbs like caminar follow the similar pattern if it's regular. Camine, camines, camina, caminamos, caminen. Take a look at your ER ending verbs. Comer normally is como, comes, come, comemos, comen. So here in the subjunctive mood, it's coma, comas, coma, yeah, comamos, and coman. And then here, escribir. Normally it's escribo, escribes, escribe, escribimos, escriben. Here it's escriba, yo escriba, tú escribas, usted, él, ella escriba, nosotros escribamos, ustedes, ellos, ellas escriban. All right. Watch out for those G to GU, C to QU, Z to C spelling changes, like, for example, verbs, infinitives like llegar, buscar, cruzar. That's what you're going to have to do. All right, so be careful with those. We'll practice again in la clase de Español. And then, like I mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, a sentence that includes the subjunctive form has two parts, the main clause and the subordinate clause connected by the word que. All right, so the first verb, if it does have a verb, it's going to be a normal conjugation, a present indicative conjugation, but then the second verb that follows after the word que is going to be the one where you speculate. Okay, so watch out for these phrases. There's more, but here's some examples. Es necesario que, es bueno que, ojalá que, espero que, quiero que me quieras. You're gonna hear a lot of that song in Spanish class because it's actually gonna teach you the subjunctive mood. That's the end of part one, ladies and gentlemen. There is more subjunctive goodness, but I gotta stop this video and continue with part 2, so stand by. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so part 2 of this video for the subjunctive mood is going to show you all of the irregular subjunctive verbs. Yes, there are the irregular subjunctive verbs. And guess what? Even that is not going to cover the whole subjunctive mood spectrum. There's going to be another video with subjunctive verbs that cover the ones with the stem changing. Yeah. So there you go. You're getting your money's worth if you sign up for Spanish 3. It's stem changing subjunctive mood verbs. Whoa. All right, but we'll build up to that. All right, so just stick with me and we'll get you there. All right. Let's take a look at those verbos irregulares. As it says in the libro, this information can be found on page 135, página 135 in your textbook. The procedure is the same, all right? But again, the reason why these are irregular is because take a look at the infinitives, dar, estar, haber, ir, saber, and ser. They're not going to follow the normal subjunctive mood rules that we saw earlier in this video, okay? So you can't just stick this in the AR ending infinitive category and then try to conjugate it according to the normal subjunctive rules. It's not gonna work. These, just like the other lessons in the past, you're gonna have to memorize them. There's no other way. And here they are, all right? The following verbs are irregular in the present subjunctive tense. I think I have a better shot of this in my PowerPoint. And here it is. So just go down the list for each one. So again, let's cover the subjunctive mood. Again, these are actions that you don't know if they're going to happen, but you're wanting, suggesting, demanding, requesting them to happen. Only the future will tell whether or not they come through or not. Okay, so let's start with dar. These are your irregular subjunctive verbs. Yo de, tú des, usted, él, ella, de, nosotros demos, ustedes, ellos, ellas den. All right? So, dar, to give, and then that's, you know, what happens there. Estar, to be. Yo esté, tú estés, usted, él, ella, esté, nosotros estemos, ustedes, ellos, ellas estén. Haber. Now, don't forget what haber is. It's actually a helper verb. You can't really haber by itself, but it means there is or there are is its infinitive, okay? Haber in the subjunctive, it more or less will translate into it might be or it might have been, there's a possibility of it existing is more or less the English translation for haber in the subjunctive mood, but here's its conjugation. Haya, hayas, haya, hayamos, hayan. All right? And then moving on to the verb ir, to go. Yo vaya, tú vayas, usted, él, ella vaya, nosotros vayamos, ustedes, ellos, ellas vayan. The verb saber, to know. Yo sepa, tú sepas, usted, él, ella sepa, nosotros sepamos, ustedes, ellos, ellas sepan. And then finally, you've got the verb ser, another one that means to be. Yo sea, oops, let me back up. Yo sea, tú seas, usted, él, ella sea, nosotros seamos, ustedes, ellos, ellas sean. All right? And that is your collection of irregular subjunctive verbs. All right. And we are not done with the subjunctive mood at all, not by a long shot. We still need to cover the stem changing subjunctive verbs. And then also, we have to cover in the book subjunctive mood with feelings of emotion, but that's for another chapter and later on in the textbook. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you come back to this video to practice the subjunctive mood. Don't just sign in for the comment section and in the comment section and just get the points. You've got to make sure you come back and practice the subjunctive mood, because this is something that definitely, most definitivamente will need a lot of your attention. In this stage of the book, in this stage of the chapter 3 or the Spanish 3 book, yeah, you know what? No more free rides. If it's been easy up to this point, well, it's been fun, but now you have to roll up your sleeves and really get under the hood and go to work. All right? So we'll practice in class. I will see you next time, señoritas y señores. This is Señor Barbosa saying adios from room M68. And you take it easy. All right? See you later.